girls to Cincinnatians are, so
Nice.
Phenomenal.
it was pretty cool, so.
I'd go back and see her.
I met her
Bunch
when
of
she was,
Swifties.
I met her when
Yeah,
she
I
was
like it.
16. She was just getting started in
Which is
LA.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
She plays for 3.5 hours straight. Comes on exactly at 8 o'clock and finishes almost
talking
exactly
about a pop
11:30. She does.
Taylor Swift, yeah.
The Monroe County Industrial Development Corporation. We have the Rochester Museum and Science Center Career Ladders Program. And Danielle,
Yes,
can you introduce your team?
yeah, absolutely. Would you like me to present this from here, or do you want me to stand anywhere?
Well, you can do it anywhere you want to do, but just present your team first.
Yeah, so I'm in that microphone so we can. Sure, I can see that closer. And then I do have printouts of the proposal if anybody needs copies of that as well. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, awesome. So my name is Danielle Lavelle. I'm the Director of Education at the RMSC, and I'm joined today by Joel Picard, who is our Floor Experiences Coordinator, Azrae C., who is our new Inventor Center Program Educator, and then Lance Marriott, who has served in a variety of different roles on camps, on the floor team, the Curiosity Club, a ton of different positions. Great.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So as you may remember from our previous proposals, the Career Ladder program at the RMSC was established in 2011 as a youth workforce development program. Career Ladder continues to serve as one of the RMSC's strongest connections to youth in our community. Since 2011, Career Ladder has provided long-term, on-the-job training and education to more than 70 students and young adults in preparation for careers in high-demand STEM and arts and culture fields. These young professionals work as a part of the Education Department team in a variety of public-facing roles. These positions involve engaging with RMSC visitors, facilitating educational programming, and maintaining museum exhibits. For the majority of participants, this is their first real job, and it's an honor for us to support that experience with regular coaching, training on essential workplace expectations and skills, and a permanent pathway to employment at RMSC and elsewhere in our community. The impact of the Career Ladder program, moreover, extends beyond the participants in the program. Career Ladder is a critical component to RMSC operations. These staff members are directly responsible for enriching the guest experience through their small group and one-on-one interactions on the museum floor. They serve as amazing role models, allowing students and families to see diverse young folks in STEM and cultural professional roles. In many cases, Career Ladder staff are responsible for making a visitor's day meaningful and personal to them. I joined the museum in January of 2020, initially working with the Curiosity Camps program and supporting our field trip and birthday party groups. While I wasn't directly involved with Career Ladder, most of the staff I worked alongside with were or had been. Many of our camp counselors came from the Career Ladder program, such as Gwen Bushin, who has been training to progress from teaching assistant to lead instructor this summer. In our year 3 proposal, you learned about Amanda Redmond, who is now a permanent staff member on our school and teacher programs team, and Azra AC, who is here today, as I mentioned, in her new role as our program coordinator for the Inventor Center. You'll also soon hear from Lance Marriott, whom I've supervised as a Curiosity Camps counselor, co-taught with in the classroom during the pandemic, and I've now seen flourish as a tenured member of the floor staff team. Career Ladder provides a supportive environment for youth to succeed as members of the RMSC team and encourages growth, builds confidence, and inspires participants to look for future career opportunities both within our community and beyond. With continued support from MCIDC for a year 3 request, the RMSC looks to grow the Career Ladder program by increasing participation, expanding opportunities to include working with other RMSC departments, and further refining the workforce model of long-term, on-the-job training and job development. We are requesting $50,000, the same level of funding we awarded for year 2. Your funding will ensure the program continues to have a positive impact both on program participants as individuals, as well as the greater community they engage with as Discovery Guides at the RMSC. Next, I'll reintroduce Joel Picard, Floor Experiences Coordinator, who directly supervises this program and will share a bit more about Career Ladder.
Hi, I'm Joel Picard, the Floor Experiences Coordinator at RMSC. I was originally actually on the floor working as a Discovery Guide with the Career Ladder. We were kind of like tandem. I was older, out of school. And I was there for like 8 years doing that role, so I worked with them every day doing exactly the same jobs they did and performed the same duties and did the same shifts. So I feel like I have a unique perspective on what they want, what they need, and how to accommodate their goals in conjunction with the museum's needs. I moved from floor staff to floor supervisor, and I'm now the experiences coordinator. My job is to hire, train, and schedule the Discovery Guides, the bulk of whom are Career Ladder employees. It's about 11 out of 15 of them. And to make their shifts useful, fun, and engaging for both themselves and our RMSC guests. I'll start by saying it's a joy to work with these amazing young people. They chose to work at the Science Museum as opposed to other jobs they can get as an entry-level position, all noble work, restaurants, house painting, which is what I did back then. But they wanted to pursue STEM goals for the most part, and I like to accommodate that, being a lover of arts and sciences. Let's see. I try to impart to them a lot. I've had a lot of work experience in a lot of different jobs, and I like to help them learn how a workplace works, basically. What they need to do, how they need to be on time, how they need to schedule their work, how to work with other people, and things like that. And they make it easy, though. They love to be there. They really do. And they come back. They come back when, if they go off to college, we welcome them back to do shifts during the summer, as Lance does right now, and Gwen that Danielle mentioned. And that's also like really fun when we hire a new one and the career ladder, train a new career ladder. It's just great to watch them teach each other how to do a science encounter, their favorite science encounter, and wanting to make it their favorite science encounter, their experiment that they show the public. And the other great thing about it is the diversity of the crew. Over the years, and now we've got a very diverse crew. We're trying, let's see. We're creating a diverse skilled workforce that is important to our DEI strategy for us as an institution. STEM fields aren't as diverse as everyone wants them to be, at least everyone at the museum wants them to be. So I feel like my role, getting them excited, keeping them excited about being in the STEM field is a great way to do it. Most of them that do go to college, and that is most of them, do go into STEM fields, or math, for instance, as an accountant, speaking of Lance.
How many young people, once again?
How many total?
Yeah,
It's around 15, 11 career ladder right now.
okay.
Yeah.
And so you've already selected the 15 and they're,
Oh, yeah, they've been employed, rolling
Okay.
over time. Some have been there for, of the whole 15, some have been there for like 5, 6 years. Some and became Discovery Guides, advanced beyond, I mean, it's equal to career ladder, but they aged out of the career ladder. And others have worked all through their high school and into their college years, and yeah, and but some of them leave. In fact, during COVID, we lost several, of course, but they went to college.
so this is more than a summer program?
Oh yeah, yeah. This is year round. Yeah, we definitely have things for them to do all year. We have customers all year, so that's patrons. That's great. And like our diversity, self-selected survey I did with them. There's 4 female, 3 male, 2 non-binary, 2 African American, 1 Asian, 6 Caucasian, 3 in high school, 6 with high school diplomas, all of whom are in college, and yeah, and that's the survey results. Not everyone filled it out, and yeah, one of our previous career ladder employees went on. I believe she's looking into the medical field right now, but she pops in on a contract basis to do Spanish to English translations for our labels and label copy and school work and things like that. So, yeah. I already mentioned that part. This year, since my promotion, I've promoted several career ladder employees to be one of a previous career ladder is now one of my floor managers, the position I was in before this one. He's doing great. And as Danielle mentioned, Azrae has been promoted as of the 1st of this month from career ladder to our Inventor Center program educator. And in the last year, since being in this position, I've implemented a kind of I wouldn't say rigorous, but a casual but goal-oriented project schedule. I meet with them individually, try at least once a month to meet with them. I've met with all of them individually at least once since I've started to get them. They get to choose a goal within the STEM field that helps RMSC also, or within their career field in general, to create things like tours if they're interested in Native American things. They might want to do a tour of our Native America area, and they'll put together their own tour, working with me and our docents and things to make sure everything's right. And some have invented experiments that we do for the public, our science encounters. They have invented, we have a series of them that we rotate through. And some wanted to create their own, and they did a great job. One person created one about probability, which is really fun. It's all about dice and probability. And it's been a hit on the floor. And I think
Any
this-
questions for Joe?
Yeah,
Anybody?
The amount of the funding is the same as previously, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
How about our young folks? Do you have anything that you want to add to that?
Yep.
Because the funding is to assist you, right?
Yeah.
So you have anything to say?
You can stand if you want. This is Azrae.
Yeah. So my name is Azar AC, and I have been working at the RMSC for about almost exactly a year. And for the majority, and as Joel mentioned, I got promoted on the 1st of this month, so for the majority of that time, I was career ladder. And being career ladder has been an absolute treasure for me, as it gave me a variety of skills that are likely the reason that I got promoted, ranging from project development and management, teamwork and collaboration with my coworkers, having a positive and friendly attitude towards visitors, and most importantly, educational techniques for various age levels and how to scale concepts up and down, or as I prefer to say, zoom in and zoom out on how detailed we get with our specific approach to explaining things in order to fit different audiences. So, for example, now that I'm working in Inventor Center, we have a series of rotating challenges built around a makerspace where guests are invited to try and create or invent something in order to solve the problem of a specific challenge. And our current one is called Mountain Rescue, which is essentially building a model car that can carry weights down and back up a ramp. And it's mainly to learn about Newton's laws of gravity and motion, as well as how to actually design a vehicle to accommodate weight and where you want to place that weight in order to achieve something like getting it up and down a hill. And so with younger kids, it is a very simple explanation of where do we want to put the stuff in order to make sure that it gets over the hill. Whereas with more advanced kids, we would go into, well, according to Newton's law of motion, what do you think is according to Newton's laws that we were just watching on the TV screen, what do you think is the issue that's keeping it from getting all the way to the top of the hill? And so being able to approach things at various different levels while still maintaining the same focus on what it is we're actually talking about has been an incredibly valuable resource. In addition to that, over my time as career ladder, as Joel mentioned, there are the personal projects that we get to work on, and I have worked on quite a few myself. My major one was a program that we called Myth or Mastodon, which centers around our central Mastodon exhibit in our Expedition Earth Hall, which was a true or false quiz game that I came up with based on the plaques within that hall, as during my time just serving as floor staff and floating on the first floor, I found that it was very common for people to come through, point at the mastodon skeleton, say, look, it's a mammoth, and then continue walking through the museum, which is totally fine. But as a paleontology nerd, I died a little on the inside at the time. And so I came up with the Myth or Mastodon both as a way to drive up people's engagement with the exhibit by giving them a reason to read those plaques, as well as to just kind of expand the interactivity of Expedition Earth, as a lot of our other exhibits are very interactive, like Inventor Center. In addition to that, I have worked on tours, like I currently am working on something also in Expedition Earth called the Geologic Time Tour, which will be a tour centered around walking through the biological history of Rochester, as well as Stories in the Stars, which is a collaborative effort with our planetarium to create a educational program that will demonstrate the origins of constellations in different cultures and the kind of stories that are ascribed to them all across the world.
So listen, thank you very much. We'll hear from the young man, and then we've got one more proposal that we've got to get in.
Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lance Marriott, and I am a discovery guide who has been a member of the Career Ladder for 3 years, since the summer of 2020. I'm also going to be a sophomore at Emory University this upcoming fall, and I plan to major in accounting when I'm at Emory University. So I joined the RMSC in 2020 when I started working for the RMSC as a summer intern through the City of Rochester's Summer of Opportunities program. And when I was an intern for the Summer of Opportunities program, I started working as an intern for the Curiosity Camp program that they had over the summer. I was there for 6 weeks, and then encouraged to apply for the Career Ladder later on my following year. And by 2021, I had an interview and applied, and I became a Career Ladder from there. And throughout my time at the RMSC, I have been working as not just an intern in my first year, but also as a camp counselor and assistant in the Curiosity camps, as well as a discovery guide throughout the museum. And in 2021, during the pandemic, I also worked as an assistant for the Curiosity Club, which was a program that we had for the youth and individuals in order to still be able to find a place to do their schoolwork and still continue their education, even if parents might be away for work. The RMSC served as a hub or a place for parents to bring their children in order to do that work, and I was helping out as an assistant to help them with their schoolwork and everything, and then also coming up with programs and doing outdoor activities with them during the time that school might be over, but then besides some aftercare for until the parents were there. So I have worked in many different areas throughout the museum, and there have been many things that I have learned throughout my experience, as well as being a Career Ladder. I see the Career Ladder as a stepping stone to success because I have learned so many invaluable and treasured moments throughout my time. There's one big thing I like to talk about is the adaptability in Career Ladder. One big thing about a lot of the programs and the activities that you do is that you can always find a way to make it your own. In my time at Discovery Guide, there's a lot of different things that I also mentioned earlier, such as the science encounters that we do in the front of the lobby, which can feature many different science activities. We also do tours. There's 3D printing demonstrations, which is a lot of having a 3D printer out, and then it's like a cool exhibit where it's like you can like stop and pass by, where you can take a look at a lot of we have a 3D print that would be ongoing, and we
Lance, I gotta apologize that we've run out of time, but
oh
I think we do get the gist.
yes.
It's a great program.
It's a great program, and it's enjoyable for you. So that's what we really wanted to hear. Are there any more questions for the Rochester Science Museum? Well, we're going to take all these things up under consideration, and sometime this afternoon you will know if you've gotten funding. Okay?
Yeah, do we stay for the 12 o'clock meeting?
I don't know. You can.
You can if you want to.
You can if you want to. It's open.
It's a public meeting.
But when we get ready to vote, you gotta go.
Oh, right. I didn't know if you needed us to speak again at the full meeting.
Well, I don't think we'll need you to speak again, but if the board has some questions, most certainly you're here to answer.
Sure, yeah, we can stay around.
We want to move to Bob Court. Rock with Your Hands is a project that he's going to present for us.
Good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
My name is Bob Coyne. I'm the Executive Director for the Rochester Technology and Manufacturing Association, and I'm seeking funding for a career exploration event called Rock with Your Hands. And that was created through several different programs that we run, the Finger Lakes Youth Apprenticeship being one of them. But the Finger Lakes Youth Apprenticeship program focused on students that were already in a CTE program in BOCES, Edison Tech, and East High. And what we were hearing is we needed to do more career exploration in the students that either don't know that those programs exist, so that when they're in 8th, 9th, or 10th grade, they can seek that training, or even some of the county and city schools that really don't offer the hands-on training, what these career opportunities are. So I've actually created about a 2-minute video that I think kind of gives a great overview of what last year's results were and what the students and vendors experienced. So we'll play the video, and then I'll be happy to answer any questions if there are.
X out of the, you can just hit the X all the way to the left on the bottom of the screen.
You're almost there.
That's the X. Sorry. We scroll down. Yeah, there it is.
It was fantastic. The kids were respectful, they were interested, they were engaged. They got to see what we actually do. It just gave them an opportunity to open their eyes to what's out there.
This is the first event of its kind, especially being this size. There was a ton of students here, more than most events that I've been to, which was great to see.
The fact that you're engaging students from across the county, 60% of them coming from the Rochester City School District, is absolutely amazing. Our young people need to know that they have multiple pathways as they look to graduate from high school and go into the world of work. This is a mutually beneficial relationship for employers to be able to find future employees that can come work for them, because we need to create the next generation of folks in the workforce. And at the same time, for the students, the young people, their families, to be able to see that there are options right here in Rochester where they can earn a good living and be able to have not work, but a career.
We explained that probably anything that you see in any grocery store, we have probably made the label for it. We were trying to simulate what a heat chamber would look like. We couldn't bring one out here to the turf field, so we used a heat gun instead, and they got to see how the material would shrink onto the bottle.
I work for Micro Instrument Corp. Through the Finger Lakes Youth Apprenticeship Program, we're looking for juniors and seniors that are going to progress into this industry.
All the companies here are unique. It just gave them an opportunity to open their eyes to what's out there.
Most students, young folks, have no idea that this is even an industry that they could gain a fantastic career in.
I hope that this event will continue to grow, but more importantly, I hope that we can see young people placed at a lot of these employers that are here today. This gives people the opportunity to see these things, connect them, and then that will breed the success that I hope to see in the future.
So last year, we had 690 students, of which 60% of them were from the Rochester City Schools, and that was with a very late start to get the program going. This year, our early numbers are just with the county schools and charter schools. The Rochester City Schools aren't committing yet, but they anticipate between 400 and 500. We have over 700 students already registered. So we anticipate the student participation to double, and we certainly hope to have at least 100 employers participate again this year.
What
So
does the $10,000 pay for?
the $10,000 helps pay for, so I have a budget of about $55,000. The budget money goes towards, we have to have medical on staff, we're gonna have sign language interpreters, tables and chairs for the vendors, lunches, we give lunch and breakfast to all the students, volunteers, and vendors, some marketing that we have to do for the event, and then the electrical and generators and stuff like that for the vendors to come in there. And I did provide a budget in the proposal to show where that money goes.
Any questions for Bob? Bob, you're welcome to stay also too for
Thank you for your
the board
time.
meeting at 12 o'clock,
Excellent.
okay? So we can,
I think so.
for the executive committee? I don't think so. Yeah.
The minutes from the last executive meeting.
they were, they said it all.
We need a motion for that.
I'll move that.
Need a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And, how do we do this with the amendment? Well, listen, we need a motion on the table for the Rochester Science Museum. Push the recommendation forward.
I'll move it.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all right. So at least it's going to the board, all right? And the same for, Rock with Your Hands, Bob Coyce. We need a motion.
I'll move it.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all right.
You can adjourn the committee meeting.
Make a motion to adjourn the,